Cancer is hard on the soul, and the story that you tell yourself really matters. We have all made this trip to the present moment in bodies as unique as our journeys. And every body is as exquisitely unique as the autobiography that it peoples. With each event, each thought, each experience, each choice, we have woven our own stories, embroidering our own names and identities into the tapestries of our lives. And of course, our souls are at least as unique as our bodies. So even if we had the same type and subtype of cancer, our cancer experiences would be completely unique. So I would never try to claim that I've blazed the trail for anybody in my own bumbling journey of cancer and inner healing. I don't know your path. I do not know the story of your heart or your body, although I would love to. Please tell me about it in the comments below. So, of course, I asked myself, can I shed any light on your path, knowing that I have arrived at my place of healing and joy and hope by traveling down another? When I try to answer that question, I can only think about how much light has been shed on my path by the stories of other lives so different from my own. And that encourages me. Perhaps light transcends sameness and identicality. And that is my wish in offering my story to you. I think that our main spiritual work is to figure out who we are, why we're here, and what we have to give. And I think that we must take charge of our stories to imbue our lives with the meaning that we choose. I decided that cancer was not going to co-opt my story. It was not going to be the boss of me. It was not going to hog center stage. It was not going to distract me from the purpose of my life, which I feel is loving people. I didn't want it to make me turn all of my attention on myself and my illness. The purpose of life is more than self-preservation. That's just a tautology. It means you exist so you can exist. It's futility. I decided that there's more than one way to win the fight against cancer. The standard narrative suggests that if my life does come to an early end, that means I lost the fight. And I totally reject that narrative. I can win the fight by how I spend my life, how lovingly, how beautifully, how powerfully, how deliberately I live each moment. I can win the fight by simply taking control of my own story. When cancer gets its way, it writes a horror story. I don't like horror stories. Sorry, Stephen King, it's nothing personal. I like beautiful stories that are full of love and redemption. And I decided that was the story I would write with my life, writing around cancer but not elevating it beyond its due. If that's the kind of story that you like too, keep listening. If you clicked on this video on purpose, you are probably very weary. Your soul needs nourishment for this journey. You don't need religion just now. You need spiritual food. Whether you are an atheist, a Buddhist, a Hindu, humanist, Sufi, Muslim, Zoroastrian, it doesn't matter what your faith flavor is. Your soul needs nourishment. And I find this kind of nourishment to be very good for your eyes. It enables us to see our lives in a new way. So if you will let me, I would love to feed your soul from these videos. I would love to feed you laughter. I would love to feed you meaning and beauty. I would love to feed you the kind of hope that is valid whether you live or die and is not dependent on belief in an afterlife. I would love to feed you resurrection.